It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, away we go. 3-hour show, 2-hour wet paper bag. Rothman and Ice, Anthony Rothman, my man Matty Ice Hayes, and the Bake Show at the Switches today. Boys, good to see you.
Oh, it's great to see you. The sun is shining. We had a nice little chilly morning strolling in here today, and we got an action-packed Thursday to Sunday that starts tonight with Thursday Night Football and them jackets on the road in Minnesota. So, yeah, I'm fired up about Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Should be a fun weekend.
Yeah, it's on, and we will get after it today. So here's the menu. We will talk jackets today, a little bit at 1:20. You'll hear from the head coach, Dean Evison, on his returning back to Minnesota, back to Minnie. You betcha. You're darn tootin'. He's going back. And so we'll have him, we won't have him live, but you'll hear from him on how much this game matters, the opener on the road. We'll do our NFL picks against the number. I'm very proud to tell you that as much as we suck, we don't suck as much as maybe some experts do, because I saw this dude from The Athletic who does some NFL picks against the spread. Last week, he was 2-12 against the number. And it doesn't mean that you didn't have kind of the idea of who might win the game. You just didn't cover. And then, you know what a lot of these places do now? Not only do they pick them against the number, Matty, then they do their best bets. All right, I'm going to take my 3 most confident or my 5 most confident and hand you those. And he was 1 for 4 on those.
Yeah, the NFL and Vegas, they hit us all with stone cold stunners so far. Usually every week we get hit with that because it's wackiness. There's just the playing field as far as talent is much more level than it is around college football. And so you get these surprises, you get these teams that cover late or just outright from the gate, just cover and do their thing. It's why we love the NFL, because every single year there are things that we don't see coming, and it just delivers. It's football cinema. It's a beautiful thing, except for my record.
Yeah, well, your record I think is fine. I think my record is trash, but either way.
I think we're right there around 500.
Right.
Little fitty lemon.
That's fine with me. I'll take that.
Me too.
If you sign me up for that today, if you told me I could be 500 and still have the fun and entertainment of betting, I would do it. I do want to share something with you, a couple of things. Ryan Day was on earlier today, and he had the show, and Teddy Ballgame was doing the producing of the coach's show today.
Panama Ted?
Yeah, because, CB has to leave, a few days early to go out and get ready for the game in Eugene.
Well, what's important to him today, what he told me, is that he has a Nike tour scheduled at the headquarters, which I'm very, very jealous of, but that is what's important to him.
Right, so he's out there, right? So I'm listening to the Ryan Day show, and I'm looking at Teddy through the glass. Well, actually, I wasn't really looking at him at the time. And Ryan Day casually was talking about something. And I could tell, and everything's fine. He's very smooth. And then how, I don't know, you guys have ever seen Old School, the movie?
Absolutely. I'm not a Will Ferrell guy, but I've seen it.
Okay.
I've seen it.
So remember when he gets married and he's listening to the Dan Band, very famous. And you know how they kind of interject the quick, swear words and things in there and kind of make it fun. They take lyrics, kind of switch them around a little bit, add some lines. I looked at Ted like Will Ferrell looked at his wife on their marriage night, like, did I just hear what I thought I did? And Ted's looking at me with the same look, like the dog that just heard a high-pitched sound. I'm putting my head sideways. And we're like, no. And we both could have sworn he swore on the show.
Okay.
But there's no way it happened. He doesn't make that kind of a mistake. But, in this casual world of that's just the two of us we thought we heard something that we probably didn't, and then we move on. So
maybe the soothing voice of Paul Keels just really relaxed him. He let his hair down just a little bit and decided to drop a blanket or two. So. Who knows? I'm here for it, Coach. This is your world. We're living in it.
Yeah, I don't think he's suddenly transformed into torts overnight. But then the other thing I also didn't know, I don't know if you guys knew this, You guys know there's a place to park at the airport where you can just walk, where you can park and leave your car. It's outside, but then you can walk into the airport. You don't have to get on a little bus.
No, I'm not hip to
In
this.
all my decades here, I don't know if this is new or it's always been there, but I've always, whenever I've left town, I've always parked not the cheap part, but just be the superstitious part. I always did the blue lot. I don't know why. Maybe the first time I was just like, when I fly, a little superstitious, not completely superstitious, just a little stitious, and I park in the blue lot. Mm-hmm. But then as you come around after you drop off somebody, and you come around, there's a walk lot, I noticed, where you can park and just walk up the little sidewalk and go into the airport. I don't know what it costs. You're a lot closer. Or it may be people who just don't want to tip, people who want to get on that bus and feel like they got to, it's
on the shuttle. Maybe
it's a cheaper way to go.
I've never tipped on the shuttle.
Walk.
I didn't know I was supposed to be doing that on the shuttle.
Well, does he pick your bag up and put it on the thing?
No, not really. I think I've always done that.
All right, if
that's bad on me. I didn't know that I was supposed to do that.
No. I think only if you had a big suitcase and he helped hike it up that stairs, and then when you get off, you get off and then he hands you your bag.
No, you know
probably
what?
worth a few bucks.
Listen, I've learned something new today. You know me, I'm Ubering in and out. Like, I'm not wasting my time taking my car to the airport. That gives me anxiety for whatever reason. Like, just let me hop in the back seat of an Uber, drop me off right at the gate, and I'm on my way.
No waiting on a shuttle.
Yeah, none of that.
But did you know there was a walk up lot where you could park and walk up?
Well, I knew that there was the parking garage that you could park in that and walk straight into.
I'm talking about an outdoor lot, uncovered, next to the terminal.
I think that's only for high rollers.
No,
like you.
that would make sense. I'm not talking about like parking in Lane Aviation
Guys
and then
flying private.
That's not it.
Yeah, this is kind of like the speakeasy. You got to have a password to find this parking lot.
Fidelio.
I've never heard of this.
Okay.
Like you said, it may be something new. I haven't been in the airport, I believe, since last year. When we went to
Vegas.
We went to Vegas,
baby.
Matty,
Vegas.
this might have been the most subtle flex ever.
I agree.
How could it be a flex if I didn't know about it?
You know what's going to be a flex is when we see AR sitting on the glass when the Jackets come home in a couple days.
No.
Oh, I'll be
next Tuesday.
Yeah, next Tuesday.
Might be sweet level.
Yeah, see, there we go. It's one or the
depends
other.
what kind of mood.
Gin pop to AR is absolutely a no.
Here's what I learned.
I'll be up top using my pass. He'll be down on the glass.
Hence, using my pass.
Well, it's a media credential.
I know.
You guys all got them too.
See, here's the difference. AR can just literally call somebody over there and say, "I'm coming over tonight." All right.
You guys have to understand something.
That I'm Anthony Rothman.
No, here's your suite, Mr. Rothman.
Yeah, that's what I'm Anthony Rothman, and I won Emmys.
It's my money, and I want it now.
Very proud of you. That's very nice.
All right, hang on.
I'll take the Emmy suite.
First of all, I learned a long time ago, what's worth going to is worth going to well if you can.
I like that.
Concerts, sporting events. If I'm going to, and you get this more than anybody, if you're going to venture out of the house, you may as well do it right.
Completely agree.
Where did the phrase go big or go home come from? It wasn't me, but I'm just following the advice.
I like it.
And I'm just saying, I don't go to that many, but when I do, I'd like to see the event as nicely as I can.
You know what? It's hard for me to push back on any of that. The only problem for Bake and I is we just don't have those connections. We don't have those just pick up the phone and I don't have to spend any money type of connections. That's the difference between you and everybody else.
That's not, but the no money spending is not true because I do go to events and I spend what it costs.
What about jacket games? You said events.
Not
See, there
usually
we go.
the jackets, but at times, yes.
There we go.
All
hey,
right.
listen,
Yeah.
life is all about relationships, and if there's one thing I know about my man AR, he's done a tremendous job throughout his years of being a media mogul. Being a media mogul, developing relationships. And look, it's paying off for you. You've done well for yourself. I'm not mad at it. Just embrace it. You're sitting on the Iron Throne.
So
over
when
there.
you're saying when I got to pay for something, I just say,
McGruby don't play like homie, and homie don't play like that.
all right, that's probably where I'm going. All right, so anyway, we got two things going here. One, Ryan Day probably did not swear on the coach's show.
Are we sure about
and
that?
I did not know there was an actual park and actually wheel your bags into the airport, not like across a runway to have somebody at the rental counter stare at my face. I want a car right blanking now.
I'm going to figure this out. I'm sure somebody will hit us up. They know.
That's all. It was kind of a Kind of a cool thing.
How'd you come across this? Did somebody
I had to go to the airport.
Oh.
Yeah. I hang out there.
You do like the people watch at the airport. That is a thing for you.
If it wasn't so expensive to park, now they know about the walk-up lot, you probably go there and just hang out there. You know, but I think they got rid of the PGA Tour store. And
I've been there forever.
And I don't know, nowadays, you know, hanging out at the airport, especially at John Glenn, it's not enough there.
You mentioned the PGA Tour. I need to know, is the Max and Irma still there across from it? Where like the food court was?
I don't know if it's a Max and Irma's, but it is but a restaurant is still there.
Do we have to pour one out for all the Max and Irma's around the city?
Lancaster's still going strong, but that's the only one, I believe.
Yeah. Okay.
Which is a shame because that's a far drive for my tortilla soup.
Oh, my God. It's a perfect day for tortilla soup.
Listen, I told Maddie when I found out was it the Perkins on Hilliard Rome? Is that still open?
It's gone. It's going to be an auto body place. Okay. It's almost finished.
Tough.
You ever have one of those bread bowls late at night? A chili bread bowl?
No.
Oh.
No. If you could bring back one restaurant right now, would it be Damon's for you, AR?
Ooh, that's a good one.
From back in the day. Uno's, Damon's.
That's a great call.
What would you bring back? Big Bear, like a grocery store? Big Bear?
I never liked going to Damon's and not getting the booth.
Okay.
It's okay, but when you got a booth, when you waited for one, right in that little mezzanine level, as I would say, that was, you could just loiter there.
Damon's was incredible. For me, I would absolutely run it back with CC's Pizza.
Ooh.
Because just buffet?
Me as, at high school, had my little Kroger job, slinging carts and slinging bags to everybody's trunks.
Slinging other things, too, I heard.
You know what? Maybe a little some of that, too. You could go into CC's and drop $5 and just go off.
Cinnamon rolls, brownies.
Pasta, salad. Like, we'd be in there for 2 hours.
We probably learned something. How many years ago was this?
Oh, when your boy was in high school, so probably about...
Just years in general.
Man, I'm getting old. About 15 plus.
I think we just found the last time you ate pasta or a carb.
Oh, no.
It was probably 15 years ago.
It wasn't that long ago.
I think that was it.
It's been a minute.
He remembers it well, folks.
But I'd run it back with CC's. You're doing Damon's. What about you, Big Show? What would you bring back?
Damon's is tough because I lived on Damon's food for a long time. But how about, can I interest you in a Fuddruckers?
That works. Build your own burger?
I think I went to the very first Fuddruckers. Not here. I think it was in northern Chicago.
And there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, two of the restaurants we're talking about, Damon's and Fuddruckers, are still going strong in Myrtle Beach.
Really?
I think
that's an expensive burger when it is. But it was worth it, right? Either the half pounder, and then you go to all the sides and everything.
Now, Five Guys is like, you think that's expensive. Come to Five Guys.
Fuddruckers killed Five Guys.
Yeah, but that was more of an eat-in.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Five Guys underrated hot dog, by the way. Sneaky good.
Very
Maddie's mentioned that before. He's gone there for the footlong or just the regular.
There's only one.
Oh, okay. Just checking. All right. We will get after it today. It's a Gold Jacket Thursday.
Yes, sir.
I'm very much looking forward to talking to Willie Lanier, the Kansas City Chief legendary linebacker, another guy that just unheralded, came through the segregation area of football time and landed on the Chiefs, turned it into a Super Bowl and a Hall of Fame career. So he'll join us from Canton at 2:33. When we come back, the CBJ do drop puck tonight on their season. I'll give you the latest on their over-under points total. And also, they're still unbeaten, but they already took a big hit today. I'll tell you those details next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The only show where sports talk is eclipsed by food talk. Oh, nuts. Common Man and T-Bone.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
The Fan.
Welcome, Columbus, to the all-new Toyota Direct. We've expanded our showroom, enhanced our service with 6 lanes, 85 bays, and 65 techs. Enjoy the new lounges with all of the comforts and extras. And now get 0% for up to 72 months on 100% of all new 24 and 25 Toyotas. Come see your all-new Toyota Direct, the area's #1 Toyota dealer.
0% for 72 on a new 24 Tundra with approved credit. Max financed MSRP on vehicle. Cannot combine offers. Must take delivery from dealer stock by 10/31/24. See dealer for details.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No. But she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
Hey, Buckeye fans. As the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics, Roosters is kicking off an incredible giveaway you won't want to miss. This football season, we're giving away 12 ultimate Buckeye experiences. 3 drawings, 12 winners with prizes including tickets, sideline passes, and 2 trips to a Buckeye postseason game. Go to roosterswings.com to register and see all the details. 3 drawings, 12 amazing prizes. Register today and every day. Roosters, a fun, casual joint.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
Attention, if you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If a friend asks how you're doing, and you say,
I'm okay.
When the truth is,
I don't want my problems to burden anyone.
Or you say,
hang it in there.
Because
if I ask for help, they'll just think I'm weak.
Then this is your sign to call, text, or chat 988 for free, confidential support. Anytime. You don't have to hide how you feel.
If you recently lost health coverage due to a life change, healthcare.gov is here for you. Like it was there for Marcus when he lost his job, and Keisha when she turned 26 and lost her parents' insurance, and Elena when she went off Medicaid. There are many other ways to qualify. Visit healthcare.gov today to see if you're eligible to enroll. Limited time to enroll. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Getting closer to the weekend, here's a look here at your weather report. We've got your sunshine today. Temperatures will be cooler than yesterday with highs only around 65. Chilly tonight with a low around 40. A few more clouds tomorrow. Otherwise, mostly sunny with a high of 73. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Anthony's hidden talent is weaving a movie quote into every conversation. It's mostly not annoying. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
Am I excited? Yeah, 100%. And I've said this before. Everybody's like, well, you know, is it just another game? Of course it's not another freaking game. I mean, we're going to the team that fired me, and we're playing the first game. Sure, yeah, it's important. But is it more important than game 14 to win? No.
Good answer, Dean. Well done, my man. That is the way to say it. He knows it means a lot. CBJ will drop puck at the Wild. Listen,
that real quick, AR, I want to marinate on that just a second. That is one of my favorite coaching clips I've ever heard, honestly, because I think 99.9% of coaches would have hit us with the, it's not about me. This is another team. We got to focus on us. All those canned answers. For him to embrace this moment, I think it's really cool. He's not going to make it about himself tonight, But I love that he gave that answer because that's honest and that's not robotic, and that's what we get from coaches all the time. So, yeah, we met him, or I had the chance to meet him for the first time. I'm sure you've had many dinners with him, somewhere, fancy restaurants around the city. But I met him for the first time last week, and he is genuine. What you just heard is who he is off and on the air. So, yeah, I just wanted to marinate in that for a second because that was very, very real from a head coach, and we don't get that all the time in sports.
I agree with you. You don't get it all the time. You get it a little more from guys that have been around the block. Yeah. You get it more from 60-year-old head coaches that have been around the game for a long time. He part of 5 seasons with the Wild, and then when he was canned early. He was canned that season after. Now, I almost went back when he said, is it more important than game 14? No. And in my mind, I started thinking, I wonder if he got fired after game 14 of this last year in Minnesota. And I just looked it up. It wasn't game 14. It was actually game 19, I believe. And it was capped by a 7-game losing streak. So I ask you guys to speak honestly right now.
Uh-oh.
Because I saw this. I think the Jackets are the second biggest favorite to have the league's longest losing streak this year.
That's sad.
Now, will it be 7 or more? If I gave you the over-under on 7.5.
I'm going under. I'm not speaking any of that into existence.
You were talking
right
tank earlier today. What do you mean? You were already scouting first round. Wait a minute. You were scouting who the top pick was going to be.
Listen, we could still go under on that losing streak and still find
Both
a way
things can be true
to get there. If I'm being brutally honest, I did ask A.R. Baker, who may be one of the top prospects we can get next year. Because, listen, we got horrible news already to start the day.
Yeah, give it to him.
Well, you tease it.
Boone Jenner had shoulder operated on, and I got to tell you, when's the Stadium Series? What date is that?
March 1st.
Okay, I'm putting an over-under on that.
Did you see what Waddell said about that?
No, I don't.
So he said that...
I didn't.
He said Jenner is out likely until March. Target date for Jenner, Waddell said, is March 1st outdoor game.
Okay, listen, that would be nice. It's just that's obviously not a way we want to start the season.
No, because he does so much for you.
Yes.
Now, here's the silver lining.
Right,
and Bake has talked about it, and I think he's going to echo this and co-sign it. Do you concur? Yes, I concur.
Getting the number 1 pick?
Yes, and maybe... This is, I hate to say it because you're right. They're 0-0, man. Nothing's happened here that can change it, but they're over-under dipped from points-wise from 68.5 to 67.5 today. So they dropped them 1 game in Vegas. And as bad as they were last year, and they were bad, they had, 66 points. Now, think about that for a second. How bad they were last year, and Vegas is telling you this year they're over-under 67.5.
Yeah.
I mean, so my point is that to develop a team and develop the young guys and give them more experience, you're not protecting anything. And I hate to say that right out of the gate. I hate to say, hey, maybe they could surprise the league. Maybe they could be the under-the-radar team. They're already the most sympathetic team in the league for the right reasons. Maybe no one's expecting them to do anything, and maybe they surprise some people. Now, is it sustainable over 82? That's the question. And so with Jenner being out, the young guys are going to gobble up more minutes of ice time, and it probably isn't bad considering what this season is really about.
I see that vision. I definitely see that vision. It's just when you talk about what the season can be, I mean, you look back at last year when it comes to production, 3 guys are now removed from the equation. One of them was just a horrific situation with Johnny, and then you trade Line A, and then now with this Boone injury out of the gate, who led your team in goals last year, that's a tough way to start. But this was always, to me, going to be about the future, and it will be over the next season or two, and hopefully we can fast-track ourselves into a lot of success in the near future. Yeah. So coming into this year, with or without Boone to start, I was going to be so invested in the Fantillis of the world and Kent Johnsons and Marchenko, right? He's been off to a good start the first 2 years. And so those 3 guys, for me, I cannot wait to see what they do. We know the goaltending was bad last year, almost bottom in the league and all those type of categories there on defense. But
scoring was too.
Scoring was as well, right? But for me, AR, Adam Fantilli, Kent Johnson, and Marchenko, I just want to see those guys grow and get better and better because we know the talent is there. Especially for Kent, let's see him put it all together. And Fantilli just got hit with a very unfortunate injury a year ago. But Marchenko's off to a nice start in his career. But those three, I really can't wait to lock in.
So I'll add even more to that. I think Chinny, I think Sillinger. I think you can add both those guys to the mix. With Jenner and Voronkov's going to be back probably sooner than
Waddell
later.
says the end of next month, so probably Thanksgiving-ish you're looking at with Voronkov.
I'm going to throw at you what he said to me when we were over there at training camp. Were you just in my office? Like, Bake seems to have all the info on these guys, which is great. Jenner, Voronkov, Danforth, now all of a sudden, no. Monahan, I'm actually very curious to see how Monahan helps this team with his experience. Hopefully he stays healthy. But really, it's what you said. Marchie's 23 goals, building on that. Chinnikov, double-digit goals. Silly, double-digit goals. Fantilli is ready for not a sophomore slump, but an absolute breakout season. But you're talking about a team that was 24th in this league in scoring error. And they were 2.5 goals a game or whatever they were. Now, that's got to change, and they have to help out Elvis or Terry, whoever's going to be in the net. They were 31 out of 32 in allowing 3.63 goals a game.
It's a problem. It just puts your team in a bind.
Not only last year, the last few years, they've been bad.
Puts your team in a bind. It really does there. So we talked to Zach yesterday. He feels like those guys are locked in. Like everybody came into camp focused, and they had a good camp and preseason. But that's a big deal, right? What you just mentioned there, just not putting yourself behind the 8-ball game in and game out with the other team lighting up the lamp.
I think the new staff is going to have a nice impact. You could hear Coach Evison and how he talks and how he feels about his team, but I'll tell you, they gotta do the obvious. They gotta protect that net and put the biscuit in the basket a little more than they have, and they should be competitive on any given night. But over 82, it's tough to see.
It's a grind. It absolutely is a grind. Look, fellas, let me let you know the Columbus Men's Clinic is the largest and most experienced men's health practice in Columbus. Did you know that their patients average 3 failures with other places before coming to the Columbus Men's Clinic? A lot of guys I know tried other things or maybe went to the clinic years ago, but they have an actual doctor treating patients, not some fly-by-night franchise that loves to come into town. Seriously, go see the team that for 10 years has been #1 in Ohio for men's health. Stop thinking about it and get in there. Call 614-300-7400. That's 614-300-7400. Or go online to columbusmensclinic.com to book an appointment today. columbusmensclinic.com.
All right, we'll close our eyes and throw some darts. Next, NFL picks against the number. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We're known for 3 things: games, conversation, and common man yelling about things only he cares about. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Thank you for calling Great Lakes. Great Lakes Kia.
Do you like scary movies?
Nah, they don't scare me.
What does scare you?
High car payments. They make me want to scream.
And at Great Lakes Kia?
We have brand new Kias under $5 a day. Come pick one out.
Maybe I'm already here.
Cool. Lease new 24 Kia Forte LXS, EV6 Wind, and Sorrento LX. All 3 under $5 a day.
That's only $139 a month for 24 months.
Plus new 24 Kia Telluride LX under $8 a day.
$249 for 24 months.
At Great Lakes Kia.
What if I have scary credit?
No problem. Get approved with 0% financing.
Perfect. And I'm right behind you.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia.
In Columbus, GreatLakesKia.com.
Can I hang up now?
To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Protect yourself, Ohio. Get your shots for COVID and flu today. A message from the Ohio Departments of Health and Aging.
Where can you find a locally owned John Deere dealership that offers unmatched individual attention? Voss Brothers Power Equipment. Voss Brothers has been serving our friends and neighbors in Central Ohio for over 30 years. Stop by their Powell location on Sawmill Road and make your work easier with the versatile John Deere 1025R compact utility tractor. Save with huge fall discounts and tackle any task with ease. With low prices and great service, come experience the difference at Voss Brothers Power Equipment.
Bobby Carpenter once sold workout equipment on QVC Canada. There's no joke here. That actually happened. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekdays starting at 6.
The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
At Byers Auto, we've been football fans since 1897, back when tailgates had actual tails. Our legacy of supporting our local team is as strong as our commitment to providing exceptional vehicles. While we're known for our new cars, we also offer a variety of pre-owned vehicles that meet our rigorous standards. Our friendly staff is here to help you find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and budget. Visit us in person or shop online at buyersauto.com. Come see why it's better to buy at Byers.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Bo Bishop here for my friends at Diamond Cellar. Ready to pop the question but don't know where to start? Visit Diamond Cellar's After Hours on October 17th for a night out with a DJ, drinks, and exclusive discounts on engagement rings. And a chance to win OSU or CBJ tickets. Diamond Cellar's After Hours event October 17th on Sawmill Road.
Open a Platinum Rewards Visa at Kemba Financial Credit Union and secure super low everyday rates so you can pay down debt faster. Apply now at Kemba.org to unlock 2% cash back on purchases for a limited time and pay 0% interest for a full year on balance transfers plus exclusive perks. Restrictions apply. Offer ends October 31st, 2024.
Gear up for game day with GNC. Just like your favorite college team prepares for their matchup each week, you can get ready to crush your fitness goals with GNC. Your coaches are in stores, ready to help you build muscle like a linebacker or slim down after a tough season. They have everything you need, including all the top brands, the new flavors you crave, the hottest protein, pre-workouts, creatine, and more to tackle your fitness goals. Don't wait for the final whistle. Fuel your fitness at GNC. Visit your local GNC or GNC.com today.
Hey, fans! Welcome back to Fansville's Cheers and Tears. Oh. Okay, so like everybody deals with losing, right? To a rival on a last-second field goal. Whatever, it's fine. I'm totally fine. But I cope with losing with an ice-cold Dr. Pepper. Those 23 flavors are like so delicious. They totally wash away the pain of your college football team taking a big fat L. College football, it's a pepper thing.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice, NFL picks.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Oh, I don't want to know, but tell us, Bake.
All right, guys, you had a tie last week. Both of you going 6-7, so
kind of a win.
Much better than the guy at the Athletic.
Yeah, kind of a win.
I'll take that all day and tomorrow.
All right, fire him off.
So, AR, you're 33-42. Matty, you are 34-41. Let's start with the Thursday night matchup tonight. San Francisco on the road at Seattle. The Niners giving 3.5.
Listen, you got to lean into the Niners blowing that lead late last week and how serious. We talked about whether it's a must-win this week. The Seahawks, overlooked the Giants at home, so they've got to be ready to go. I think both teams are ready to go. I like both running backs in this game. I'll mention that probably in Bet365, but I think you got to take the team at home with the points. I'm going to do that. This just reeks of a close game, not a blowout either way. Plus, you get that hook. I'm going to take the 3.5. I'm going to take Seattle.
San Francisco's defense took a big hit this past weekend. Their all-pro safety Hufanga was on. He's now been placed on IR. I'm going to take Seattle, too. Give me the 3.5. That place is always rocking. The 12s are a tremendous fan base. And the Niners just looked okay to me last week. So I'm going with Seattle.
Guys, we've got another overseas game this Sunday, so 9:30 a.m. football again. The Jacksonville Jaguars taking on the Chicago Bears. The Bears given 2.
You know, a lot of focus has been on Jane Daniels the last few weeks, and rightfully so. But Caleb Williams, last 3 games, is starting to put together some good stuff in the league, so things are probably slowing down for him. I just have no trust at all in Jacksonville. I know this is their territory and all that stuff. I don't care. They're a bad football team. I'm laying 2. Give me the Bears.
Yeah, they got the win last week. They kind of staved off whatever was going to happen with their coach. Now they're going, as you say, back to their home for a couple games. I think 2 straight games. So, but I'm with you. I think I have to just ride the Bears. Jags' defense is pretty bad. Not like the Bears blow anybody out. Really doesn't feel like it. I mean, although I think they may have won big last week. They play Carolina last week.
They should.
Correct. Yeah. So I'm going to take the Bears and lay the 2. I'm with Maddie on this one.
Okay, let's head to the 1 o'clock games. Green Bay hosting Arizona. The Pack giving 5.
That's a pretty big number. They're pretty good. I don't know what's going on with Marvin Harrison Jr. They didn't get anything from him.
It's like game 1.
Yeah.
First game versus Buffalo. Felt like that.
Boy, Packers -5 at home. Jordan Love was not great, and they won. Josh Jacobs should be pretty good in this game. I think it's a little too much. I'm going to take Arizona in the 5.
Yeah, I like where Green Bay's at. They haven't been as dynamic as I think a lot of people thought they would be. They started the year with a quarterback injury. That's going to set you back. But the 2 weeks they were out, they won games. Both Jacobs and Jaden Reed are top 5 in rushing yards and receiving yards. I'm laying the 5. Give me Green Bay at the crib.
AR, you mentioned Josh Jacobs. Arizona's given up 8 rushing touchdowns this year.
Yeah,
I like him this
good.
week to get in the end zone. The Colts on the road at Tennessee. The Titans -2.5.
I'm rolling with my old dog. Give me Joe Flacco. And I'm assuming he's playing. I don't
know if they've said anything about him starting.
Anthony Richardson hasn't done much of anything at practice. He's dealing with an oblique injury.
He was throwing on the run, they said yesterday.
They're saying that Derek Carr's going to be out for a while, so I'm going to assume that he's missing another game. Give me well, you know what? We just found out, too, that Michael Pittman's going on IR. That changes a lot. That definitely changes a lot. Titans have a good defense. I'll lay the 2.5. The Pittman thing's a big blow for them.
Yeah, on the road, they don't get after the quarterback, either one of these teams. I am going to go with the Colts. They said that he can start.
Is that a good thing for them?
Yeah, I don't know. He probably should play Flacco.
Yeah.
Either way, they should probably be okay in this one.
Big number here in this one. Houston traveling to New England. The Texans -7.
Yeah, this one's tough because Drake May, it's the 7 that they're getting at home. Joe Mixon may still be out for Houston. They just lost Maddie's best receiver, Nico Collins, who led the league. They led the league with a lot of 47 accepted penalties I see on the stat sheet here. I can't go with the rookie here. I'm going to lay the 7. It feels very uncomfortable, though.
I think the beauty of that trio that they had prior to the season, Nico, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, will show itself as far as depth. You still got Tank, you still got Diggs. I'll lay the 7, roll with the better quarterback.
Big one in the NFC South. Tampa Bay on the road at New Orleans. The Bucks dropping 2.5.
Yeah, it's tough for me to roll with the rookie quarterback in a divisional game. They officially named Rattler the starter after we left yesterday. So I'll roll with Bake Show. Not you, Brian Baker. Baker Mayfield. And I'll lay the 2.5.
This seems a little bit too good to be true right now.
You rolling with Nolans?
No, I'm going with Tampa. I think that number sounds too good to be true, going against Rattler. I'll lay the 2.5.
Matty Ice officially a Baker bro. I heard that. Their biggest number of the week. The Cleveland Browns heading to Philly to face the Eagles, who are giving 9.5.
Yeah, so that ticked up 0.5 point. They're coming off a bye, the Eagles. The Browns don't know what to do with Deshaun Watson. And so I know there's some pride there. Boy, that is a lot of points in a must-win game for Cleveland. But I could easily see Philadelphia winning this game by 10. I'm not going to do it, though. I'm going to actually take the 9.5. I just think it's too much.
Yeah, because Philly's coming off a bye, I'm going to lay the 9.5. They're coming in fresh. They're getting Devontae and A.J. Brown back. The Browns just looked a mess last week on both sides of the ball. I'm laying the 9.5.
The Browns have always been a mess, Matty. Washington on the road at your Ravens. Big number here for your Ravens, too. -6.5.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Basically because our defense stinks. Jane Daniels should have a very good week. I know Harbaugh's tweaking things, bringing in Dean Pease now to be a defensive advisor to Zach Orr, the first-year DC. But I'm going to take Washington, or Washington as we call them, and give me the 6.5 on the road. I think we get a shootout in this one.
They're undefeated against the spread. Washington is. That should be enough to make me take them. You guys coming off an overtime win, too. They won't take Washington lightly, but I'll take the points as well.
Let's head to the 4 o'clock games. The Chargers on the road at the Denver Broncos. The Chargers giving 3.
Here's Bo Nix telling everybody he can actually play the game at this level, at least for 1 week. Herbert, what's going on there?
Should be good to go.
Should be good to go. This is a very tough call here. I'm actually going to take Denver at home. I'll take the 3.
Yeah, I'm going to follow your lead on that. They got a good defense. Patrick Surtain, 2 interceptions, one of them 100-yard touch to the house last night. Yeah, I'm rolling with Denver at home.
How dare you guys go against?
Go Chargers, go!
Pittsburgh heading to Vegas to take on Aiden O'Connell and the Raiders. Pittsburgh giving 3.
This game stresses me out. I don't know why, but this is just weird. We know the Steelers are going to make this a close game because that's all they play is close games. No Christian Wilkins for the Raiders on that D-line is a big issue for me. So I'm going to lay the 3 and roll with the Steelers, but I don't have a lot of confidence in this right now.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think the Steelers' defense is enough. Justin Fields knows that this is a game he has to be big in. We'll see how he performs. I'll take Pittsburgh.
The Detroit Lions heading down to Big D, taking on the Cowboys. The Lions giving 3.
I mean, Jared Goff's coming off a perfect game. Dallas keeps their season alive here. I guess they could get after that secondary of the Lions. It's not like their defense has been that great. But I'm going to take the better team and lay the 3, Detroit.
Yeah, this one... This just feels like one of those games where Dallas wins the game and they get that hype train rolling again where everybody's back on board with them. I don't know how many people are on board with them anyway, but I'm with you. Detroit is the more well-rounded team. I'm going to lay the 3 and go with the Lions.
The Falcons giving 6 on the road at Carolina.
Yeah, Carolina stinks. I'm laying 6.
Yeah, less than a touchdown with Cousin Kirk. I'm doing the same.
Sunday night game, the Bengals head to the Big Apple to face the Giants. The Bengals giving 3.5.
That's a tough one. Everybody knows it. Bengals, this is it for them. I don't know, do I bet into the desperation or do I bet a Giants team at home that's coming off a nice win? I'm going to take Cincinnati. This is it. We've
been saying this.
I know, but this is truly it.
We say this every week.
This is truly it.
Oh, man.
Giants pass rush is real.
It is. Dexter Lawrence is tied for second in the league in
Singletary plane.
We don't know yet. I'm going to take this leap of faith with you. That's 3 favorites in a row. I don't like that. But I'll roll with the Bengals.
Let's go to Monday night. The Bills heading to New York to take on the Jets, who might be as dysfunctional as the Browns now. Who knows?
The Jets are going to make this weird. I'll take the 2.5. Their defense is still good. They're going to make it strange somehow.
Yeah, I mean, do they just run the ball a lot on Buffalo here? And I don't think Shakir, I don't know if he's coming back for Josh Allen or not. You bet probably into the coaching surge here and get that spark, especially on a Monday night. So Aaron Rodgers is going to try to prove that it's not him, it was the coach. So I'll bet with you on the Jets. Oof. I reserve the right to change the Browns pick before 3 o'clock. We come back with a Buckeye Bulletin and facing a pro offense. A Buckeye linebacker weighs in on that. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
We've been your Jackets flagship station since day one. All the goals, all the action, all the memories. Your home for the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let's face it, repairing or replacing your roof is a big decision. It's an investment in your home, your safety, and your peace of mind. But with so many roofing companies out there, how do you know which one to trust? How do you know your investment will be in good hands? Since 1992, Newman Roofing has been the family-owned company homeowners have relied on. We understand that roofing projects can be stressful. That's why we built our company around you, offering a white glove experience designed to make your roofing project as smooth and easy as possible. At Newman Roofing, we focus on the details because the details matter. Our craftsmanship, attention to quality, and commitment to service are second to none. Why? Because when your name is on it, it just means more. Your roof isn't just another project. It's our promise to deliver the very best. So, as the cooler weather approaches, don't wait. Get your Newman roof while there's still time this fall. Call us today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF, or visit us online at newmanroofing.com. Don't just get a new roof, get a Newman roof.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Buckeye Show.
What were you guys yelling on the Brack Spin play, 2015?
Well, everybody said, he's back. He's back. That's what everybody was saying.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Listen to Sherrod Brown. When he wanted your vote.
On major issues, I'll stand up to the president of my own party.
But Sherrod Brown doesn't stand up to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. He votes with them 97% of the time. Brown supported Biden and Harris on radical issues like amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants. Brown voted to give nearly $1 billion in COVID stimulus checks to convicted criminals in prison, even the Boston Marathon bomber. And Brown voted to give taxpayer-funded health care to illegals who get amnesty and Social Security benefits, too. So the next time Sherrod Brown tells you,
I'll stand up to the president of my own party.
Ignore it, because 31 years in Washington has changed Sherrod Brown. He's not for us anymore, and he's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.americancrossroads.org.
This season, get premium tech that inspires joy from Dell Technologies. Bring projects to life with the XPS 16. It delivers supercharged processing for enhanced productivity and freedom to express yourself. Performance-class Dell PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors deliver a dedicated engine to help accelerate AI. Enjoy free shipping, Dell rewards, and expert support. When you get a Dell PC with AI, it gives back. Shop now at Dell.com/deals.
Can't be home for the game?
Caught for the touchdown!
NFL Plus has you covered with live, local, and primetime games on the go.
What a game he's had.
On your mobile device, you can access live, local Sunday afternoon games and all the primetime action from Thursday night football, Sunday night football, and Monday night football.
Tonight was definitely their night.
Sign up for NFL Plus today at plus.nfl.com. Subscription required for NFL Plus. Terms and conditions apply.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky's Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another furnace breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day furnace installation.
Let me throw something at you guys, Buckeye Bulletin-wise here, because I heard Ryan Day again talking about the schedule, and how they want to keep it the same. They're just looking at this as, hey, this is going to be basically a 7:30 our time game, just like a night game we played against other teams this season. So they're not really changing much. And so they're just playing, they're on their same schedule. But how does that work on game day? Like, I'll ask it to you this, and I don't know this. What time would they normally get up out of bed on a Saturday morning if they're playing at 7:30?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Yeah.
We'd have to call the general, or I can text DeVere or something like that to find out. I don't know how that works, big dog.
Because you can stay on the same schedule all the way up until game day. Mm-hmm. But if you're gonna treat it as we're kicking at 7:30, when you're really kicking at 4:30 out there. I'm just wondering how much earlier do they get up on game day? That's the only difference that I would be curious about. But, yeah, they're handling this very much like, the old cliche business trip. We're going there and getting in, getting out, no sightseeing, no Nike tours, none of that.
I can't go see
no
Phil.
Prefontaine store. What
about Uncle Phil? I want to see Uncle Phil's crib. Uncle Phil Knight. Yeah. They probably see him more times than not anyway. They're a Nike school.
Philip, I would say this is very businesslike, and that's why this isn't let's fly out early, let's get accustomed to the jet lag or whatever. I don't think they're treating it like this. The thing I'm most curious about is game day itself. Is that any different than normal? And you're right. Depot would know.
Slide in Coach Day's DMs and ask him.
And I'll see. Maybe he's already answered and I just didn't hear it. But he was talking a lot about, today on the Coach's Show, he was talking about, they were able to get some extra work in. They're on their fall break. They could have probably gone out there earlier if they wanted to, but it's keep it tight, keep it here. Same thing will be true for tomorrow. They'll get a lot in, and then it's go time. But Cody Simon was talking this week about facing this Oregon offense.
It's really all just about playing your keys, and so we'll have different things, and we're trying to change up looks and make it tough for the offense. We want to play offense on defense, so when we get in that position, we just want to do our job and play smart.
Sounds like he's on it. Not really a lot of detail there for us, but that's okay because they're going to keep whatever they're designing against Dylan Gabriel to themselves, which is smart.
Yeah, they're just going to have to do a good job, just the defense of making sure they tackle well in space. I mean, we talked about it the last few days. Dylan Gabriel, he's getting the ball out quick. Like, he's not going to allow Jack and JT and Tyleek and those guys to hunt him down unless they get in those third and long situations. But the Oregon offense is, let's get it out quick. They'll run screens and all that. And that's what I can't wait to see as well. It's not only like the coverage of on a guy like Tez Johnson, but also the defensive backs getting off blocks and how well they can do that, because that is a big component of what Oregon wants to do is they trust their guys on the perimeter to block your guys. And so, IGB and Denzel and Jermaine Matthews and Hancock, the whole gang, they're going to have to do a good job of tackling quickly in space, but getting off those blocks as well, not allowing those screens to turn into chunk plays.
I'm with you, and I'm glad you brought that up because if you think back a few years ago, 2021, when Oregon came here in week 2 and it was only one of 2 games the Buckeyes lost all season, we know what the other one was. And Anthony Brown Jr. played a fantastic game, I thought, at quarterback.
He did, yeah.
And they had a couple of really great quarters in that game, and it was just too little too late for Ohio State. But we talked about C.J. Verdell a lot that I remember. We talked about Anthony Brown Jr. running from the quarterback position. Verdell peeled off that 77-yarder. And now that was back in the time where Ohio State was giving up, some big plays defensively. Cody Simon kind of remembers a few years ago what that was like.
I can remember back to that time. I don't think we were prepared, just mentally, physically, and we made a lot of mistakes. Just going back we've watched some film from that game, but it's a different team now, a different everything. So we have a different mindset, and we're ready to just attack and play our game.
Here's the most wild stat ever when you think about that game. And I remember because I went to that game as a fan. I was sitting in the stands. I remember talking to you about how it just felt like even the crowd couldn't save them at the end.
Yeah.
You guys remember how many yards C.J. Stroud threw for that day against Oregon?
Well, where was he at?
Would you like to guess, both of you guys?
I think I just looked this up the other day, and it was like almost 400.
484.
Oh, almost 500.
In a loss.
Wow.
Think about that for a second. This isn't J.T. Barrett, let's throw it 12 times and win a ball game. This is a guy putting it up 54 times for almost 500.
Remind me of the final score of that one?
35-28.
35-28.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. This defense has come a long way since then.
Yeah.
I know, that's
I agree with the fact that JSN had 145 yards receiving, Olave had 126, and Garrett Wilson had 117, and Stroud threw for 484 and 3 scores, and they lost.
The defense couldn't get the stops they needed, and that's what Cody's talking about is the preparation and all that. They've really grown since then.
There's your Buckeye Bulletin. We come back. Deep dive up next. We'll get some analysis from Howard Griffith, Big Ten Network analyst next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The sound of Paul Keels calling a Buckeye game is erotic.
Oh, yes.
Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hi, I'm Joanna Williams, General Manager at Tansky Sawmill Toyota. Is it time for a new or used car? Visit Tansky Sawmill Toyota on the corner of Sawmill and 161, home of the Tansky Promise, where our salespeople aren't paid on commission. We have a 72-hour exchange policy, and every transaction is upfront and transparent. You can even start the process at home. Visit TanskySawmillToyota.com to start your purchase today and to see all of this month's specials. And when you think Toyota, think Tansky.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
This is the story of the one. As a facility technician installing a new welding station, he knows getting the ventilation right is critical for safety. That's why when questions arise, there's Grainger. Grainger offers detailed technical product information online at his fingertips, so it's easy to find what he needs. Because when it comes to safety, having answers means he and his people can breathe a little easier. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Okay, everyone, what did you think of the chocolate bar?
It's too chewy.
Feels kind of chalky.
Too much nougat.
I need to go brush my teeth.
Business is booming for Steph's small marketing research firm.
After all these focus groups, there's only one conclusion. I need more researchers.
And she's way too busy researching.
Does this have peanuts?
To waste time researching resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Put our matching platform to work so you can spend less time searching and more time connecting with talented candidates. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Baker. We've got Jackets hockey here on The Fan tonight. They begin the 2024-25 season on the road in Minnesota against the Wild. Puck drop is at 8. Again, you can hear it right here on The Fan. The pregame begins at 7:30. Thursday night football this evening. The Seattle Seahawks host the San Francisco 49ers. Kickoff in that one set for 8:15. Since we've got Jackets hockey here on The Fan, you can hear that one over on ESPN Columbus. It begins at 7:30. Major League Baseball playoffs tonight. The Guardians look to stay alive. They take on the Tigers. 6:08 first pitch. They trail in that series 2-1. Tanner Bybee gets the start for Cleveland. The Royals host the Yankees at 8:08. New York leads that one 2-1. This one's sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Enjoy rates as low as 9.9% with a Visa credit card from BMI. Apply right now at bmifcu.org/visa.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and I feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Maxima Concrete. Visit MaximaConcrete.com today to schedule your free estimate.
All right, for us and the rest of the country, this is the game of the week. Everybody knows it, 2 at 3. And I love when games break out like this with their headlines, like that this team hasn't seen anything like they're going to see this season, and the other team hasn't seen anything they've done all season, and we've got that to look forward to. Best on best, here we go, 2 at number 3, and to help us break it down is our friend Howard Griffith from the Big Ten Network and one of the best in the biz on the field and off. Howard, good to have you back. How you been?
I've been good. How are you guys doing today?
Well, we're doing great because this is where we want it to be. We wanted Oregon to be undefeated. We want Ohio State to be undefeated. They got there in different ways to our eyeballs, that's for sure. Oregon looked very overhyped to start the year, and maybe they were, reading their own press clippings, as they say in the old school. But I want to get your feeling on our biggest question mark about this Ohio State team going into the season was this offensive line. They looked very good so far. They're facing a front in Oregon that we've heard about all off season that may be better than anything they've seen. How much better in your mind? And is that where this game will be determined or elsewhere?
Yeah, I don't know that they're that much better than the defensive line that they go against each and every day in practice since the spring, right? I think there are going to be some situations, some games where you're going to have either a defensive lineman from Ohio State or Oregon that's going to take over the game or take over a series. You're going to have that, but I don't buy into that Oregon is that much better on that defensive line that's going to be able to stress. I mean, the reality is this. I think you listen to Chip Kelly. He says early when he first got there, and he said, "Okay, we got problems on the offensive line. I'd love to have these types of problems then. This is the offensive line that I want. They're going to continue to get better," and we really have. We've seen a lot of that take place, and I think they're really getting to that point where they're starting to really dominate. They're going to lose some matchups. They are. I mean, that's just what's going to happen as far as some of the one-on-ones go. That'll go on both sides of the ball, but it's all going to start up front for both of these teams. It's really going to be the tail of the tape, I believe, and how this game turns out.
Howard, when you look at what Oregon has done offensively so far through a handful of games, what do you think is important for Ohio State's defense to try and take away? Because I hear you, both teams are going to get theirs throughout this. But for Jim Knowles and that side of the ball, what is one thing that has to be a must-have for them on defense on Saturday night?
Shutting down the run without being forced to commit extra people to the box or an extra person into the box. I think one of the things that Oregon has done a really good job of, we talked about offensive lines. This offensive line struggled the first couple of games, and I don't know whether, they were just underestimating their opponents or they were just trying to find their legs. But they have seemed to address that situation, and they're much better. And being able to slow down this run game is going to be paramount to be able to do it with just your front, because they're going to go 3 wides, and you're going to need that nickel out there to be able to make some plays. So I would say the biggest thing is trying to make them one-dimensional without adding extra guys to the box.
Yeah, very good stuff there as we break down Ohio State at Oregon on Saturday night with our friend Howard Griffith from the Big Ten Network. Yeah, I think the nation has seen, certainly they know what Ohio State's about. Every time I hear somebody talk, they say, they have no weakness. They have no real holes anywhere. The only thing we don't know, Howard, is Will Howard in a big moment. He's been very efficient. They're starting to use him in the run game now. I know Oregon would have to pick their poison. You would think they'd want to put the game in his hands. However, if you do that, we know Ohio State's receivers can certainly be a big part of this game. When you break down these two quarterbacks and their limitations and their ceiling, what do you expect on Saturday night? How these coaches will I guess, put the game in the hands of their quarterback?
Well, I think one of the things that's interesting, really, as we watch the development of Will Howard, is just how the offense is continuing to expand. And I don't think, Dan Lanning, from a defensive standpoint, can really look at Ohio State and say, this is what they're going to do. I know that they're going to, it gets down to 2nd and 5. We have these certain plays and personnel groups that they're going to run. What we've learned about Chip Kelly is that, yes, he can throw it, spread you out. Yes, he will go big personnel and play bully ball with you as well. What that's been able to do, I believe, is allow Will Howard to become a bigger part of the run game. And I think that's where the edge might come, right? You could say, all right, we want to take away, because defenses can do this. They can dictate on the reads whether the quarterback keeps it or whether he pitches it to the running back. So I think there are going to be some opportunities there for Will to really grow in the run game and continue to make plays. I think it'll be all hands on deck. I think we'll see a bunch of personnel groupings, a bunch of different formations that are going to change and really be able to move pieces around. And I think that's one of the biggest challenges Oregon will have. I said on the other side, you look at this Ohio State defense, Gabriel is played really well to this point. Yes, he has some red zone interceptions that are thrown, but he is a guy that, has been able to put up huge numbers throughout his career. And I think he has a great command of where they are right now, and he knows where he wants to go with the football, but he can't be late. He can't be late with the football. So if this Ohio State defense can get that pressure on him that they want, and he holds the ball for a split second, I think the ball is going the other way. They're able to turn him over because I think they just have the talent in the secondary to be able to match up. Again, I think Oregon is going to win some opportunities in this pass game, but if they force this into a passing game, those opportunities are, I think, going to land in the hands of Ohio State, because I don't think they'll give up the big play. They've stopped doing that for the most part. They're going to keep everything in front of them and force Dylan Gabriel to make mistakes with the football.
Yeah, cannot wait, man. It's great stuff from you, Howard. I want to zoom out, though, from Eugene and go over to the L.A. Coliseum, because USC's welcoming in Penn State, and this is another one of those big brand-on-brand teams here. I want to ask you specifically about Penn State, because, Howard, I remember talking to you prior to the season when we had you on, and about Penn State's offense and can they be explosive this year. Have you seen more of that from Drew Aller and company with the new OC over there?
Yeah, I think we've seen that. I think the other side of what we've seen is just the creativity of this offense. You're seeing tight ends, actually their tackles posing as tight ends that are coming across the formation and kicking out defensive ends, or not even blocking the defensive end, faking at the defensive end and leading up on a secondary player. They have done some real creative things with their offense, and they're starting to make the plays that they need to make. Defensively, I think they're coming into their own. I think they have one of the best defenders, on-ball defenders that are out there when you talk about Abdul Carter. I think he's going to continue to get better. You talk about a guy you can put on the right side, the left side. He'll be over the center. He can be anywhere, so he can create some problems. SC, the issue right now with SC is they're not doing a great job of tackling the last couple of weeks. And if they get Singleton back, Penn State and Allen, I thought they've done a good job of really getting those guys out into the pass routes. But those are two physical running backs, much like we have in Columbus, that are going to run through those arm tackles. You're not going to be able to bring them down. So if they can't shore up the tackles in those one-on-one situations, this could be a long day for them.
Howard Griffith with us, the former great Illini running back, Big Ten Network analyst, with us here on Rothman and Ice. Listen, I don't want to be disrespectful. 6-0, Indiana, they're ranked. When do we know whether they're for real, and what does even for real mean? I know they're on the bye. They do host Nebraska. Maybe it's next Saturday. Maybe that's the time the country wakes up to them. They've had a good schedule. They don't play Michigan or Ohio State till towards the end of the year. Do you think that they are for real, and what does that really mean?
What does it really mean, right? So I think they are, when it comes to Indiana, they've addressed all the issues that come up each and every week. I think when you say, okay, well, they really haven't played anybody. Well, they've gone out and dominated those opponents. What happens when they face some adversity? They have one of those, a quarterback roared through 2 picks in back-to-back series. The defense didn't give up a point. So I think they've been able to answer a lot of the questions. To me, the real story here is athletic departments are now going to look at, say, a seasoned coach who has had a great deal of success at his previous stops, right? Even if it's at a lower level. Because what they've done is this team has bought in, and they've done it with portal players who have become leaders. Now, it's very odd that you see guys come in a situation like this, and those become the people that are the leaders. And I think part of that is because they've won at their previous stops with their coach. But it's going to continue to get more challenging as the season goes on. But I don't think it's one of those things where we say, oh, we're going to keep moving the ball. When we talk about Indiana on Saturday all day, when they're playing, we keep moving the ball, right? Because we said, okay, they passed that test. This is a better team. They passed that test. So I think we're going to continue to move the bar, and finding out how real they are, I think will really be determined once the season is over. And I know it's not a cop-out, but I think that's where this program is. I mean, they're making a lot of noise, and internally they believe so much in what they're doing and what the guy from the front of the room, Cinetti, is saying to them. It's fun to watch, and it's just a different way, I think, of the way they built this team, the way the quarterback has been able to play, and just the enthusiasm that's come around. I like the fact that they're playing well.
Yeah,
I really do, because I think it brings it adds more depth to the conference. I think we've been able to see that, but it also gives there are great stories that are out there. I think you look throughout college football, how many teams right now feel like they are in the mix for this 12-team playoff? So I think it's much better for where we are in college football with the 12 teams right now versus when we just had the 4 and things had gotten a little bit regionalized.
It's been fun. Howard, last one for me real quick. Where does Michigan go now at quarterback? What do you do? Do you go to Tuttle, or do you stake with the orgy? What are you seeing on tape from Michigan's offense, specifically at quarterback right now?
I think this goes back to really the offseason. And I think if you talk to people that have been around that program and watched them throughout the spring, they would have told you that Tuttle was going to be the starting quarterback. That's who they believed was going to be there. The day we were there, you couldn't convince me that Orji was not going to be the guy, but also Tuttle was hurt at that time. So when the season started and Warren was named the starter, that told me from a stylistic standpoint that they wanted to be more of the pro-style offense and throw it around and be able to have a strong run game when they went with Warren. Now that they've gone back to Tuttle, I don't know how you go back to Orji with the outside of making him a starting quarterback, right? I think not making him a starting quarterback. You can have packages for him. I just don't know how you can go back to him right now if Tuttle is healthy and able to continue to move forward, right? So it's tough, man. And listen, they've had an unbelievable run over the last 4 years, 3 to 4 years at Michigan, no doubt about that. And Sharon Moore has answered a lot of the questions. But when you take over a major program and that's your first head coaching job, there are going to be a lot of things that are going to crop up. And there is no book on how to pick a quarterback, making sure you're picking the right guy in a quarterback competition. I think it's even harder to go to that number 2 guy and try to make that happen. So, listen, I think they still have growing pains that they got to go through. I think they're still going to – I think it's really still a good football team, but we know what they lost last year. And I think it shows us really just how important the quarterback position truly is throughout college athletics if you want to go out and compete for a championship.
Great stuff with our friend Howard Griffith. Love having you on, my man. Thanks for doing this, and enjoy the weekend of college football.
Hey, you guys too, and hang in there. It's gonna be a fun weekend for Ohio State. I'm looking forward to it in Oregon. This is gonna be a great matchup of uniforms as well, because it looks like Oregon's wearing all black in this one.
Yep, they're going for the blackout in Eugene, man. Buckeyes will be ready for it. Thanks, Howard. Be well.
All right. Yep. Take care, guys.
Thanks. Howard Griffith on the Bryant Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We come back with a pre-snap read. The Jets' new coach does what the owner didn't allow his previous coach to do. We'll tell you what that is next. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
No hot takes, no dancing, plenty of stupid. Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
In his campaign ads, Sherrod Brown thinks everything's pretty funny. But it's not when you look at his voting record. Brown voted to allow transgender biological males to compete in girls' sports. Unfair and dangerous. Brown introduced a bill letting transgender biological men into girls' locker rooms and girls' bathrooms. That's just not right. And Brown supported allowing puberty blockers and sex change surgery for children. Migrants are flooding into Ohio, but Brown voted for government handouts to illegal immigrants and voted 10 times to protect sanctuary cities that release dangerous illegal immigrant criminals onto Ohio's streets. Sorry, Sherrod, your seriously bad votes are no joke. And Ohio doesn't think it's funny. Sherrod Brown has let us down. He's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
Common Man and T-Bone here for Hollywood Casino Columbus. Hey, Bone, did you know the sports book is now called ESPN Bet?
I did, and you can watch your favorite teams on the biggest screens, place your bets, and grab some wings with an ice-cold pint.
Maybe you're too boring and don't want to go to the casino. Good news, you can keep the action going and place your bets on the go with the ESPN Bet app.
The ESPN Bet Sportsbook is your 50-yard line ticket to odds, point spreads, and over-unders.
It's the place to be. Losers must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-589-9966.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Most radio stations suck. Here's why. They don't invest in local programming. We're live and local 14 hours a day. You can rest assured that every stupid thing we say is 100% local. Homegrown dumb since day one. The Fan.
I'll be honest, I'm really worried about my kids and grandkids. I never thought we'd be facing a national abortion ban in this country.
That's Kim. She lives in Cincinnati and is a grandma to 6.
If something happened to my family, I'd want them to have all the help they need. But with a national ban, they'll have nowhere to turn.
Bernie Moreno supports a national abortion ban, and he has said he is 100% against abortion with no exceptions. And if Moreno's in the Senate, he could be the deciding vote to pass a national abortion ban.
Last year, we voted to protect abortion in Ohio. Now, Bernie Moreno wants to get rid of that completely. It's simple. I don't trust Bernie Moreno to do what's right for my family. He should never be Ohio's senator.
Your Community PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising, paid for by Your Community PAC, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Learn more at yourcommunitypac.org.
Democrats will do anything to win. Changing the rules, mail-in ballots, cheating, and even opening our borders, all to win at any cost. Now they have a new scheme, Issue 1. Issue 1 would create a redistricting commission aimed at overturning key protections against gerrymandering in Ohio. Protections approved by over 70% of Ohio voters to prevent this exact kind of political manipulation of voting districts. And the members of this mysterious commission are backed by foreign special interest groups. They're unelected, unaccountable, and completely beyond voter control. If they abuse their power, there's no way to vote them out or hold them responsible. Their only purpose is to take control of Ohio's politics and turn the state from red to blue. This isn't democracy, it's deception. Don't let the Dems continue to rewrite the rules to rig the system in their favor. Protect Ohio's voice. Vote no on Issue 1. Paid for by Ohio Works.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Well, let's get a look at that weather report heading into your Thursday. A lot of sunshine today. It'll be on the cool side with a high around 65. Tonight, chilly with a low around 40. Tomorrow, we'll have a few more clouds, but it will be dry. It'll be warmer with a high of 73. Saturday will be dry with a high of 75. Our next chance of rain will be Saturday night going into Sunday. I'm meteorologist Dylan Robichaud with your 10 TV weather impact forecast on 97.1 The Fan.
Bet365 is the exclusive online sportsbook of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Rothman and Ice present Pre-Snap Reads.
Sponsored by the Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
All right, little Bet365 time.
Hey, let me let you know, my man, that Bet365 is the Cleveland Guardians' exclusive mobile sports betting partner, because at Bet365, we don't do ordinary. See for yourself when you sign up today and get $200 in bonus bets when you bet just $5. Okay, season's on the line for the Guardians. J-Ram, look, he's not showing up. So I'm going to put this out into the atmosphere, and hopefully this will do something. Jose Ramirez, anytime touchdown. This is not Thursday night football.
That'd be worth 6
Football
points.
season.
They would take it.
Anytime dinger for J-Ram with the season on the line at plus 600. Come on, man. He has not been good in the postseason. I'm putting some good juju out there for J-Ram today.
All right, my third leg of that parlay. Do you believe that? I needed every run of the Guardians plus 3.5 yesterday, so that wins. I get Lugo through 5, even though he's struggling against the Yanks, but they let him finish that inning. And then the Dodgers do what they do against the Padres and say, take that.
Mookie's back. That's the problem.
All right, I'm going to stay away from baseball. I'm going to do I'm going to actually do the Super Boost on Bet365 today, which is Jordan Mason, 50 yards rushing, and Kenny Walker III, 50 yards rushing.
Oh, man.
That's gets you up to plus 1.5. It was minus 170.
Okay.
So they're giving you a Super Boost. Both key running backs. Just give the ball to Kenny Walker more than 5 times, would you, tonight?
Yes, he does have Kenneth Walker on his fantasy team, folks. That's what.
So I'm going to go fitty, lemon, lime. Both get 50, and I get plus 150.
What you got, Big?
I got Kenneth, too, and I'm beat up. No Christian McCaffrey, no Achane, so I need big time.
That makes it a trio on the show because I got Kenneth in my other league. So we'll all be pulling for Kenneth Walker. Whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Bet365 is the official sports betting partner of the Cleveland Guardians. Download the Bet365 app today. 21 plus only. Must be present in Ohio. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
Defense wasn't a problem for the New York Jets. Well, winning was. And so they fired their coach. And I just kind of thought, what would that mean if the owner would have said that, right? It's typical that I would say that, right?
Defense
wasn't our problem.
Was.
Yeah, but winning was. But they could have. He could have said to Robert Saleh, "Hey, we can't score enough. This is not good enough. You got to get Hackett. I know he's Aaron Rodgers' guy, but we got to make a change." And he could have let Saleh strip Hackett of his power to call plays, but he didn't do that. So he promotes Jeff Ulbrich, and guess what he does? Hey, I'm stripping Hackett of his play calling duties.
Regarding the staff, after a lot of time to think about it, did not make this decision easily by any means. I'm going to make Todd Downing the play caller for the New York Jets going forward. And this is more a byproduct of a different take on things. I'm not saying it's a better or worse take on things by any means, but just a different take on things, a fresh approach. So ultimately, Todd will have the full say on the game plan and ultimately the plays that are called within the game.
So if it doesn't work, it's his fault. The offense has been bad. I'm looking at stat. They're dead last in rushing yards per game, and they have Breece Hall. And you're supposed to respect Aaron Rodgers' ability to throw, so the offense, the running game should be pretty good. I mean, Hackett and Rodgers, pretty close from their time in Green Bay. This is a big move. Now, whether it irritates Aaron more, who cares? He should be irritated himself. It's not working. I'm okay with this.
Yeah.
I just find the timing of it weird because he could have let Saleh do the same thing.
I like this call a lot. I mean, this is just, I think, unfortunately, Saleh was the scapegoat in all of this. And I am surprised by this move, though, because I thought that they would essentially hand all the power to Rodgers on offense and he and his boy would continue to go out there and do their thing. But, their new interim head coach is stepping in. He's saying, no, this is my ship, and I'm going to drive it and direct it the way I want it to. And so the talent is there. Excuse me. Thank you, man. The talent is there, as you mentioned. Breece Hall's a dude. Garrett Wilson's got all the potential. It's just not clicking, and it's not all on Rodgers' horrific game this past weekend. But they just have to find a way to be more explosive. That's what's really surprised me is the guys that they have aren't creating explosive plays, whether it is Garrett or Breece Hall. And so this is one of those things now to where you've ripped one, excuse off already. There's not too many left. And so they got to find a way against a divisional opponent to hopefully make some noise. And the team that they're playing against in Buffalo, their quarterback, he's going to be coming in there locked in based off of his bad performance. So it's going to be fascinating to see whether or not Aaron Rodgers and Josh Allen go toe-to-toe offensively or have to do that. But I like this call from their interim head coach to step in and make this move. I
think everybody should now be ready to shake everything up. Like, they're in a really tough part of their year. So the head coach goes for whatever reason, a lot of reason. He hasn't been great over the years. I know he finally got a quarterback and then he got injured. But I think the marching orders this season for the Jets were we cannot, when things start to get weird early, we've got to make a change. And they did. We'll see how it could backfire. We'll see. But they know one thing. Whatever they were doing wasn't working.
No doubt.
And so can't get worse. They're 2-3. They've lost a couple in a row, and they got a key home game on Monday night. We'll see what happens. All right, those are your pre-snap reads for today. When we come back, it is a Gold Jacket Thursday. And Willie Lanier started his rookie year in Kansas City at one of the most demanding positions, middle linebacker, and he never looked back. We'll take a little walk back with him next from Canton, Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We have so many local shows, I can't fit them in a 10-second promo. So let's just say we're live and local all damn day. The Fan.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Is your business generating over $1 million a year in revenue? If your financial advisory team isn't keeping pace, maybe it's time for a change. Here's Brad Hennebert with Premier Advisors.
Thanks, Bobby. Our team integrates financial planning and asset management with business accounting and tax preparation. Business owners have planning needs that are unique. We work with you to design a seamless financial services bundle tailored to your business with monthly or quarterly advisory consultations to help guide you along the way. We don't just keep score of what happened last year. Our team combines expert financial planning and wealth management with top-tier tax services, helping businesses like yours build wealth for you. Call us today at 614-524-4888. That's 614-524-4888.
Brad Hennebert is a registered representative offering securities through United Planners Financial Services. Member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through TCP Asset Management LLC. Tax services offered through Premier Tax CPAs. United Planners is not affiliated with TCP Asset Management, Premier Advisors, or Premier Tax CPAs.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Rise and shine, jabronis.
What a show this morning.
There's only one place where Buckeye legends lay the smackdown. Morning Juice with Bobby and Beamer.
Weekday mornings starting at 6.
Give me a juice box,
The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
In his campaign ads, Sherrod Brown thinks everything's pretty funny. But it's not when you look at his voting record. Brown voted to allow transgender biological males to compete in girls' sports. Unfair and dangerous. Brown introduced a bill letting transgender biological men into girls' locker rooms and girls' bathrooms. That's just not right. And Brown supported allowing puberty blockers and sex change surgery for children. Migrants are flooding into Ohio, but Brown voted for government handouts to illegal immigrants and voted 10 times to protect sanctuary cities that release dangerous illegal immigrant criminals onto Ohio's streets. Sorry, Sherrod, your seriously bad votes are no joke. And Ohio doesn't think it's funny. Sherrod Brown has let us down. He's way too liberal for Ohio. Senate Leadership Fund paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.senateleadershipfund.org.
We are Ortho Alliance. Together, we deliver the most experienced orthopedic care near you and throughout Central Ohio. Together, we provide expert care when you need it with same-day and next-day appointments. We put our patients' care first, from physical therapy to the most challenging joint replacement surgeries. We are JIS Orthopedics, Ortho Neuro, Orthopedic Associates of Zanesville, Orthopedic Foot and Ankle Center, and Orthopedic Specialists in Sports Medicine. And we are better together. Visit orthoalliance.com or call 877-WE-ARE-OA.
Protect yourself, Ohio. Get your shots for COVID and flu today. A message from the Ohio Departments of Health and Aging.
The time to save big is now. It's Ford Truck Month at your local Ford dealer, and the time to buy is now. Make way for great offers across an amazing lineup of Ford trucks, featuring the built Ford Tough F-150 and Super Duty. Check out the versatile Ford Maverick and the capable Ford Ranger. But you can't wait. These limited truck month deals won't last. Check it all out at buyfordnow.com. Then get over to your local Ford dealer today. Hurry in, as these deals won't last long.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Gold Jacket Thursday.
It is a Gold Jacket Thursday here on Rothman and Ice. Anthony Rothman, Matt Hayes. We love to bring you the knowledge on legendary players, and this man was the absolute sledgehammer on one of the best defenses in history. Willie Lanier played middle linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs for 11 seasons, 67 through 77. He's back in football heaven in Canton this weekend, and he joins us now. Willie, welcome. I hope you're well.
Yes, sir, I am. God graced us with being up this morning to be on the radio as things are going well.
Outstanding. I want to go back to your time as the first African-American to star at a very demanding position, the quarterback of the defense, middle linebacker. I know Lamar Hunt and Hank Stram had a fairly big impact on you, but take me back in time. Small school, right? Morgan State, how you were discovered and how it impacted your life.
Well, the reality is that I was not a big kid growing up. I had two brothers older than I, and the brother who was 2 years older than myself was about 5'10", weighed about 185 pounds. But he could lift about 300-some pounds in high school above his head. So I tried to lift some weights above my head when I was 14 or 15, about 135 pounds. I tried to push it above my head. I started to lose my balance. God told me to let it go behind you, step away from it. And I did that, so I didn't lift weights anymore in my life, all right? So I didn't really have any interest in trying to be strong or lifting some weights with some interest in football because I didn't. So if I weighed 150 my 10th grade year in high school, didn't play, didn't make the varsity, I weighed 180 the next year, 190 the next year. My high school coach came to me and said to me, son, next year, your final year here, I'm going to move you to linebacker because you have better level movement than anyone I've ever seen. I took hold of it. I only had one college scholarship offer, and that was to Virginia State. But Virginia State is 20 miles from Richmond. Richmond is the capital of the Confederacy. I wasn't interested in going to school there because I didn't think my advancement could be what it could. My high school quarterback had gone to Morgan State 150 miles north, the migratory patterns of blacks over the years have been to get further north, and more so from a job standpoint because unionization was more in the north than the agricultural south. Before I go to Morgan State in 1963, in May, when I called them and asked can I come to their school, I weigh about 195 pounds. From June 1st to August, 3 weeks into August, God gave me 45 pounds. I didn't lift weights. I didn't try to eat anymore. But by the time I got to Morgan, after this coach had let me come, I didn't have a scholarship because he already extended scholarship money. I became the size I was when I played in the pros. So all of a sudden, the whole thing came to life that you all saw.
Pretty incredible. Willie, I want to ask you about Hank Stram because, us as NFL fans now when, the NFL Network or wherever may play some classic NFL films, scenes from the past, Hank Stram always seems to be a part of that. Talk to us about him as a coach, what he was like as a coach, and what type of impact he made on you.
Well, Hank was highly innovative in his skill set, and I think as everyone is affected by where they grow up, what the family situation is, how you meld that into who you become. So just from an African-American standpoint, we can talk about where and how my background was affected by that. Hank's family was from Poland, I believe it was. So the family name was Straminsky. And Dad shortened the name to Stram in similar ways that we couldn't change our color from being a black standpoint. We could certainly try to shorten the name from the aspect of how prejudice could affect you in this country. So there was something similar, I think, that he could recognize between us, African-Americans, he being from Poland, and because he was short, he didn't have the stature of the big people around him. But because God had gifted him in being quick and aggressive, he enjoyed playing racquetball against you. And he enjoyed whipping your behind because he was great at it. He was so good he could take the racket and go from his right hand to his left hand and whip your behind as much with the left hand as the right hand. So you realize that you were never going to beat him because his ego was not going to allow that. So whenever we played, I'd have to hit him with the ball a number of times and apologize equally as often. But still knowing I was not going to win, so I'd have some way to have satisfaction because he was highly competitive.
You found a way. Willie Lanier, the legendary linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs. I wonder how you feel about the game today. Your nickname was Contact. You were such a powerful hitter, but you were such a great tackler. And I know there are many great tacklers in the NFL right now, but what I've noticed over the past several years is that guys just want to hit now.
Well, they aren't being taught as well as they should be. And in my first year, because everybody was taught to tackle it properly, put your head between the numbers from waist to shoulder, the body doesn't move, make the impact. You went from high school to college to the pros, you could have horizontal weighing 250. The forces that would then have on the head and the brain inside the skull could then impact you in ways that were beyond comprehension. So with no one having the understanding of how to properly tackle, what would happen is that my heart stopped 3 times my first year, and the doctor didn't tell me until 10 years later, because you were taught to do something wrong. So in that first year, when I caught a blow to the head, no more than 3 on a scale of 10 against San Diego in San Diego, because I dove across the offensive guard to make the tackle where you're penalized now if you leave your feet, and you should be, because you can't protect yourself. So with that, the critical reality is that the head must be taken out of impact completely. Mm-hmm. So what happened to me was that I collapsed in a game a week after I take this blow to the head the next week in Kansas City, standing in a huddle. The next thing I know, I'm in a hospital looking at the light and seeing the trainer and the doctor standing next to me. The first question I asked was, how long was I out? They said 2 hours. Well, most times, most people have never heard that because there's no one to tell it because the person died. So I have an eye doctor that comes in to see me the next couple of days. I start having some initial vertical double vision. He tells me if it happens during the game to tackle the clear image. Obviously, there was no great concern for the individual at all. So the next game that we played, and Bobby Bell and I dropped back. John Hable rolls out to run. I'm going up toward him to make the tackle. He becomes 2 people. It was double vision. So the one that I see, I reached for and I grabbed, and I had nothing but air. So I turned to the sideline, went to see the doctor on the sideline, told him powers and found out what was wrong with me. They sent me to Mayo Clinic the next week, and I was told I had a previously undiagnosed subdural hematoma. So, is that right? That could have killed me. First, the head can never touch anything again. Never. You mean not 1%? Never. Absolutely. Yes, sir. The next thing, you have to remove all emotion from how you play the game. Yes, sir. You must respect the other people who play as much as I respect you and you respect them. Yes, sir. And then the next thing that happened is that I played another 10 years. I didn't miss a game, and I didn't harm anybody. I didn't watch any of the offensive plays when I was sitting on the sideline. I didn't look at any film after the game. I had a roommate named Jim Lynch. He was a linebacker, my greatest friend on the team. We never talked about anything called some stupid football while we were together.
I hope you get to visit schools and players and talk to them about this and their safety. We talk about targeting. Some people think it's taking the culture out of football. I never have. I could see highlights of you and how you played, and you became a legendary player.
The only word you had, Jerry Mays, rest his soul, was the one that gave me that name my first year of contact. So that was what it was, because I was striking him properly. All right. The next one was Honey Bear. Honey Bear is the one I go by because it was a wrap and twist structure. You never miss because you're putting shoulder to shoulder, hip to hip, wrapping. You do some rotation so the forward movement and lean of the running person has to go down, and you never miss. You never hurt anyone. They can't hurt you. And you have an efficient game. And you completely remove your head from any impact. Completely. So the same way that idiots have these guardian skull caps today, and young men are having someone who's making money. The money is okay in our country, but Guardian is making money off of them, trying to tell them this can protect you. The only way you can protect yourself is the way I did, God's grace, and never let your head hit any damn thing, dumbass. Excuse my language. That helps the company promote something to somebody else, or coaches who don't have their children or themselves actually playing the game. So they are offering something they think that has some capitalistic view, and I'm not against capitalism, but my child would not play unless he played like I played. And if that's not the case, you can't play the game safely. 50 years later, I saw Jamal Hamlin line on the field, and all I could do is think about myself. And then the team position was compromised by the team, who didn't tell me until 10 years later what he knew, that my heart had stopped 3 times on the way from the field to the hospital.
You lived the worst and the best of this game. You made it all the way to Canton. I know that's got to be a prideful moment for you. You're back there. Fans can visit with you, talk with you, hear more of these stories. You'll be at the Hall this weekend, tomorrow from 11 to noon. You'll be there as the greeter at the Hall Saturday as well. As I like to say on this program, you can't miss him. He'll be the one in the gold jacket. He is Willie Lanier, legendary linebacker for the Kansas City Chiefs. And we're thrilled that you're well. Keep talking this game, good, bad, and ugly, because you're a realist about it. And it was a thrill to have you on, Willie. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
You got it. Willie Lanier. Talked to him for an hour. Super Bowl champ, NFL Man of the Year, 75th and 100th anniversary teams all time, and a Pro Football Hall of Famer and a College Football Hall of Famer. And he was with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We come back with Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
The only radio show Ryan Day listens to when we're holding him hostage, making him listen to a radio show. The Buckeye Show.
Weeknights at 6.
The Fan.
There's a place where mishaps don't mean missing out. Welcome to AAA's The Plus Side, where a AAA Plus membership means that an empty gas tank won't keep you from a full day, where a flat tire doesn't have to deflate your mood, where being locked out doesn't mean you'll be out of luck for long, and where a dead battery can't stop you from being the life of the party.
Looks like you're all set here. Have a good rest of the day.
Because on the plus side, roadside mishaps don't have to ruin your day. With AAA Plus, you're covered with the gold standard in roadside assistance, whenever and wherever you need it. Tire changes, battery swaps, and emergency fuel are just a tap, click, or call away. AAA gets to you faster, and if you need a tow, we'll take you further, anywhere within 100 miles. Become a AAA Plus member today and experience the peace of mind that comes when you live on the plus side. Towing is subject to a 7-day waiting period. Terms and conditions apply. Service is only available from AAA and CAA in North America.
Would you believe that giraffes are 30 times more likely to get hit by lightning than people? Or that a single cloud can weigh 550 tons or more? Sounds fake, right? How about an insurance company that actually treats you right? Sounds unbelievable, but it's true. NJM Insurance is proud to put policyholders first. And they don't use jingles or mascots either. Don't believe me? Well, guess what? Everything in this commercial is true and approved by the legal department. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Visit njm.com for a quote.
Dr. Marta Lavelle of Urbana and Darby Dental Smiles on having First Bank of Central Ohio as a partner.
It has been great working with First Bank of Central Ohio. They helped me achieve a huge goal, becoming a business owner. The bank made it so easy. They helped me through the whole process. It's been great ever since.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
They're trained. They're prepared.
Let's do it.
They're Ohio's undefeated plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling team. And they're here to tackle your problems. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Join our resident gambling degenerates Steve Biddle and Scotty Vegas for On the Money, Saturday morning at 9.
Presented by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino Columbus.
All the action, none of the responsibility. The Fan.
Listen to Sherrod Brown. When he wanted your vote,
on major issues, I'll stand up to the president of my own party.
But Sherrod Brown doesn't stand up to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. He votes with them 97% of the time. Brown supported Biden and Harris on radical issues like amnesty for 11 million illegal immigrants. Brown voted to give nearly $1 billion in COVID stimulus checks to convicted criminals in prison, even the Boston Marathon bomber. And Brown voted to give taxpayer-funded health care to illegals who get amnesty, and Social Security benefits, too. So the next time Sherrod Brown tells you,
I'll stand up to the president of my own party,
ignore it. Because 31 years in Washington has changed Sherrod Brown. He's not for us anymore, and he's way too liberal for Ohio. American Crossroads paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising, not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. www.americancrossroads.org.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived. The only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com, and use promo code JUSTSPORTS to get a welcome bonus up to $100. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 or older and present in Ohio. If you or anyone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If your air conditioning or furnace stops working in the middle of the night, on a weekend, or over a holiday, there's no reason to wait to get it fixed. For 100 years, Atlas Butler has been here for your family. We're always open, we work on all furnace and air conditioner brands, and it's easy and convenient to request service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
The Fan Guest Hotline is sponsored by Accurate Heating and Cooling and Bryant, doing whatever it takes to keep you and your home comfortable. The Fan.
Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
All right, Bake, take us home.
Okay, guys, on this Thursday or October 10th, today is National Angel Food Cake. Tell the truth. What are your thoughts on angel food?
What kind of cake? Angel food cake. Well, Rusty, looks like we're going to eat our way out of another jam. I had a chance to get an angel food smoothie today and bailed on it. It didn't sound that appealing to me.
Okay.
But angel food cake, I would think it's more of a summer deal, like kind of a light. To Maddie's liking, get some strawberries on there, get a little whipped cream, get a dollop of whipped cream on there.
You lost me there.
And then you got or Cool Whip, and then you got a little bit of a nice little light dessert there. So it wouldn't be my choice. I wouldn't order this, but if it's being served the way I just described, I'm not turning it away.
See, for me, I grew up on pound cake. My grandma,
amazing.
My grandma used to make pound cake. We never did angel food cake, and as my grandmama used to say, this cake is moist, no tea. This cake is moist. But angel food cake, yeah, it's a no for me, dog. I'm not in on this. If I go down the cake road, like we're doing red velvet, carrot cake, yellow cake with chocolate icing, but angel food cake's not on my radar. I'm good on it.
You can't handle the truth.
Okay, guys, we talked about the Blue Jackets. They're starting the regular season tonight in Minnesota. Their over-under for points, AR, you said was 67.5 this year.
It dipped.
Which one are you taking, the over or the under?
I got to take the under. I don't want to do this, but I have to. We're off to a horrid start already with the Boone injury. I don't know what we got to do. What do I got to do? Do the hockey guys need to sacrifice for me, AR? Do I need to sacrifice something in my life to get us on the right track?
No. I understand. You didn't want to do it. You feel you owe it to them. I would, Judge Smales, I would say, I mentioned this earlier, how bad they were last year, and they got to 66 points. So could you find a way to scratch out another 1.5 this year with a better structure on defense, getting some skill out there to score a little more? They did lose. I mean, it's 82 games. You never know. They went on pretty big bender over their last 15 last year.
Bill Bender?
I think Vegas knows what they're talking about. Probably going to struggle to get to 68. Whew.
By the way, you never...
So torn on this.
You never gave us your take on the over-under for the losing streak at 7.5. What would you do? I took the under. Taking the under on that.
I'll take the under on it.
Yeah, they're not losing 8 games in a row.
Is that the under on both?
Yeah.
You know I want to go over this so badly because of last year and how much I think they could fight a little bit on emotion. You just wonder how long that lasts. Can you stay off the injury sheet? All right, give me the over. They scratch out 68. Where do you stand?
You talked yourself into it. I am going to take the under, I believe.
Did you say I know my truth?
I know my truth.
All right, guys, today's fan poll over at 971thefan.com. I heard it's sponsored by AR's parking spot at the airport. The Guardians trail the Tigers 2-1 in their best-of-5 ALDS. What will be the outcome of this series? Detroit in 4, Detroit in 5, or the Guardians win it in 5?
What you got, AR?
They got Bybee going today?
Bybee, this is your guy.
It really is.
But where's the offense?
It's non-existent.
Where is it?
Well, if there was ever a team that was due to kind of hit a little bit with runners in scoring position, it's probably them. And this feels like the Tigers are riding a pretty big high here. I hate to, because if you bring it back, yes, you're facing Scooball, but you're bringing it back home. And then you know how who are they throwing in Game 5, the Guardians?
Nobody knows.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to play the odds here and say Detroit in 5.
Yeah, I'll roll with you on that. They got, just come on, get 2 runs. Can they get 2 runs tonight? 20 scoreless innings is just a joke. It's sad.
Right now, you get plus 265 for the Guardians to win the series.
Yeah, I don't love it. I just don't love it because of Scooball in Game 5. But they're winning today. They're winning today in Detroit.
Market guaranteed?
Yeah, stamp it.
Tommy, little Tommy Callahan over here.
Print the shirt.
The truth shall set you free.
Print the We're Winning Game 4 shirts.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, if you missed anything from our show, wherever you get your podcast, type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3, we'll be waiting for you. Gold Jacket Thursday today. Was today with Willie Lanier. We did NFL picks as well coming up on Common Man and T-Bone. They'll get you ready for Jackets opener on the road against Minnesota, and Adam Rittenberg stops by at 3:34. So don't move.
I'm going to have to ask Teddy in the crossover whether he went back and listened to the coach's show and whether we were both just completely out of our minds. I think that is the case. All right, fun little show today. No, it was a quick one. We'll come back for a full boat tomorrow. Brady Quinn will be with us as always. We'll break down the big game. We'll get his opinion and a lot more coming your way. We'll have pressure cooker and college football picks and you know what else. So we'll see you tomorrow and talk to you then. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan. This is a Fan Action Update.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit primesportsbook.com and use the promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100. Oregon has not been a home underdog since 2018 against Washington. That's 33 straight home games as a favorite. Top 5 home underdogs are just 5-12 straight up and 8-9 against the spread in the last 30 years. For your Prime Sports Action Update, I'm Scotty Vegas.
You reached James. Leave a message.
Hey, it's Annie from Chase. Congrats again on the new home to you, Alina, and baby Maya. So happy she gets a big new nursery.
House hunting? On average, home buyers save more in mortgage fees with Chase compared to a non-bank. We're with you all the way home. Chase, make more of what's yours. Visit chase.com/wayhome. Source, 2022 Home Mortgage Disclosure Act. Loan application register. Home lending products subject to credit and property approval. Rates and program terms subject to change. Other restrictions apply. Member FDIC. Equal housing opportunity.
Voss Brothers Power Equipment, where you get the right lawn and garden equipment for the job. Voss Brothers Power Equipment, where you'll find pros who know their stuff, who don't give you the runaround. Visit them at their Powell location on Sawmill Road for all your John Deere equipment needs, like one of their John Deere XUV 835M Gator utility vehicles. If you need power equipment, you need Voss Brothers Power Equipment. Come on in and get to know them by name at their Powell location on Sawmill Road. Voss Brothers Power Equipment, delivering enjoyment in mowing since 1989.
Columbus, the wait is over. Blue Jackets hockey is back. Come feel the boom all season long. Be here Tuesday, October 15th for the home opener, presented by Nationwide. Get your tickets today at bluejackets.com.
All right. Protect yourself, Ohio. Get your shots for COVID and flu today. A message from the Ohio Departments of Health and Aging.
We've seen it before. Politicians and lobbyists playing games, drawing voting maps to keep power in their hands, not ours. Courts have ruled Ohio's voting districts unconstitutional 7 times, while our communities have been left out again and again. But this November, you have a chance to change that with Issue 1. Issue 1 will make it illegal for politicians to manipulate voting districts for themselves or their own party. Instead, it creates an open, transparent process where a diverse group of citizens, not politicians, will draw the lines. No more backroom deals, no more gerrymandering, just fairer maps that represent our communities. Issue 1 gives you and me the power to ensure everyone's vote counts. This is about real change, a chance to end the games and make our voices heard. So vote yes on Issue 1, fair representation, and power to the people. Paid for by citizens, not politicians.
Breaking gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out heart-stopping letters, aggressively garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it seem impossible to ever get out of debt. Don't let the tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, the #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks that the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands. Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, they'll fight to get you the best deal possible. Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269. 800-348-0269.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.